Hello everyone, this is Sharon Rowe from Acorn Internet Services, and today we're going to cover Educational Byte installment number 37. Our topic today is working in your mailing list provider and their newsletter templates. We're going to look at how to find your newsletter template, how to edit it, how to test it, and how to send it. And we're going to work today with one of our clients, Cressmont Inn. We've just built a newsletter for them, and we want to use them as an example today of how to get that accomplished in YMLP. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your existing Your Mailing List Provider or YMLP account and log into your account. Once you're logged in, you're going to come into your dashboard, and usually the first thing you see in your dashboard is going to be the last newsletters or drafts that have been sent out. These would either be because we've just built the newsletter template and you're going to find our draft there, or you're going to see your actual past newsletters that you've sent out. So there's a couple ways you can get to that draft. You can either just click it from the dashboard here, or we can go to your Send Compose Newsletter button here, and on this screen we're going to be given the chance to reuse a message or draft and then create our settings that we want to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to reuse a message or draft. So we click this blue button, and here we see that we are given a drop-down menu with all of the choices available to us. So we're going to go ahead and pick the last newsletter, which was in a draft mode, and we're going to load that. We're going to click this orange load button. And what that will do is it will automatically take us over to this particular screen. Now, we did want to send this as a test, so I'm going to go back and make sure that we have our test set. So we do have to send as a test, so I just want to make sure that that's clicked. So again, we'll just go ahead and reload that newsletter to send it as a test. And that's important because you want to be able to preview it before you send it out to your guests. So here we are on that test, that draft that we had created, which was the initial document that we generated for the newsletter template, and we can see we have a variety of sections here. And what we need to do before we can do anything, we can't edit anything at this point, we can only read it, is we want to load the newsletter builder. And that's going to activate all the different sections of the newsletter, allowing us to edit those sections. So here we have the newsletter builder loaded. And you can see that as I hover different sections of the newsletter, this is a caption or a title, I get this little red dashed box going around that particular area with an option to drag it, copy it, edit it, or delete it. And that will happen over each one of these different sections, whether I'm over on the left or on the second title, the second title content, and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and edit the first section of this newsletter. We're going to stay with what's happening as our title, but if I wanted to change that, I could easily click my edit button here, and then this text would be completely editable. I could say what's new, I could make this say what's coming up or upcoming events. I could say just about anything I wanted here, but I'm not going to change it. So I'm going to go ahead, and over here this is going to be my control panel for anything that I do in these sections, to either save it or cancel the changes that I might have just attempted. So I'm just going to cancel because I didn't change anything there. This is the area that I want to go ahead and edit first. So I'm going to click edit. And now all of this text is completely editable. And what I have done is I have pre-composed something in Notepad. I'm just going to open my Notepad document, and I have it set up to say something in the What's Happening section. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this, do a Control-C, minimize this, and go into my text here, and I'm just going to highlight the text that I want to replace and do a Control-V, Control-V Victor, and that will act as our paste function, and then I can go ahead and delete this other text that I don't care about anymore. And you can see that this has kind of an interesting spacing right here. I don't want you to be concerned about that. Once we save it, that is going to melt away. So I'm going to go ahead and save it just so you can see it. And now you can see how nice that dropped in. It looks really nice. and the spacing is pretty good. I didn't do anything different from what I had loaded into my Notepad document. What I might want to do here is a few other things. I want to make the email button active. I want to show you how to do that. And again, in my Notepad document, I had predetermined what their email address was, which is info@crestmont-in.com. And I want to show you that when you're doing an email link, in order to activate the email pop-up editor, you need to have a specific prompt in front of that. So if I just simply highlight email us, and I go over to my little WYSIWYG toolbar, I find the link, and I click on insert the link field, and the text to display is email us. That's what's going to have the link on it, and the link URL is going to be mail to info@crestmontin.com. Excuse me. And that will create an email link so that Outlook or some other email editor will open up when someone clicks that link versus linking over to a web page. So that is the area that you're going to paste that email link into, link URL. So we're going to just click insert. And now the email us text will be clickable for anyone receiving this newsletter and might want to email the client, or the innkeeper, I should say. So we're going to go ahead and save that change. Now the other thing we'd like to do is maybe put a nice image in here. So here again, I'm going to edit this section. And what I want to do now is I want to work on this image area. And the first time we build this for you, you're going to have this little instruction prompt that says hover the image and click edit in the upper corner, which we already did. We want to replace this image. So we're going to click on the image to highlight it so that we get all the little boxes around the corners and sides. And we're going to then click on this little tree icon. You can either click on this tree icon or you can right click and get this insert edit image option. The same thing will happen if we click this tree over here. So I'm just going to right click it and click insert edit image. And what you would want to have done is identified a photo that you want to put in the newsletter. And I have already done that, but I will show you how I did it. I'm going to be picking this image right here. But what I did was I saved onto my hard drive an image from their website of their patio. So all I have to do is remember where I put that image, find it on my hard drive. It's in my directory under Crestmont In and Images. Yours would be wherever you save it, maybe in a Photos directory. And I would just simply click this, and it would load into the YMLP image gallery, which I've already done. So I'm just going to double click that image and select it. And it says the image has been selected. You could see that lit up and then fading away. I could make that image clickable to a page of their website. And I am going to do that. I've already got their website open to their packages page. And I might want to link this over to their packages page. So I'm just going to highlight the page URL, do a Control-C, go back to my YMLP image, where it's going to give me a chance to link that image to some place on the site, and I can just go ahead and paste in the packages page URL. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to size this image. I know that it's going to be a little bit large, and actually I'll go ahead and save this so that you can see it, how it's going to look in the large format. So you can see it's pretty big here. It's pushed my text all the way over to the left, and I would really like that image to be a little bit smaller. So what I do is I right click the image again till I highlight it so I can see the image in a clear state. I get my little white boxes around the image again, and I right click it to insert edit image. I'm editing the image this time. I'm going to go over to adjust display, and I'm going to make the image 125 pixels by 125 pixels. And I just happen to know that that's a good size for this image. You can play around with this. And actually, because this image is a little bit horizontal, you can see it just defaulted to 167 wide by 125 tall. This is the first box is always your width. The second is your height. We can put in some vertical space padding. 5 pixels is nice. It just creates a little bit of space on either the top and bottom of the image when we do the vertical space, and 5 pixels left and right of the image when we're selecting the horizontal space padding. For border, I can put in a 1, which is a very thin black line. I'm just going to move this up again so I can see my update button, and I'll just click that. So you can see that that image sized down rather nicely. And if I click my save button here, you can see exactly how that's going to look. And that looks really nice and very professional. It's very aligned, very clean looking. So we're talking in our text about if you're coming to the inn and you want to have a special private celebration on the patio, we hope you'll call us and schedule that private use. And here's a picture of it to kind of prompt that along. So that would be a way that you would use that section of your newsletter and drop an image in. Now, you can do the same thing with every other section that we've created in your newsletter. You would simply go down, select the section that you want to edit. You want to click Edit, you want to make your changes, and you want to click Save. Always following those steps. Until you get the red lines around each section, you're not going to be able to edit your content. The next thing you want to do after you've completed all of that is to make a decision as to whether or not you're ready to send it out to your guests, or if you're still in save, you're still processing it, you've only got one section done, the doorbell's just rung, you have to go answer the door. So you might want to just save it as a draft. If you've saved it right here at this point, it will not be saved in your YMLP inventory of newsletters. That's the most important thing I want you to understand. If you do not click Save as Draft at this point, you must click the Continue button and continue all the way to sending out a test. Otherwise, what you've just done will be lost. So we're going to go ahead and save as draft, and we'll call it June Newsletter Draft, and we'll click Save. Now, let's just say we were ready to send out a test. We would simply continue with this orange Continue button up here, and it will take a moment to load. And we're going to come to a screen that will be a preview screen. And here's where we get to see how it looks in sort of a normal recipient format without all of the little editing boxes and so forth. This would be a perfect time to address your subject line. It's very easy to forget this, and I usually encourage folks to use the name of their inn and maybe News June 2012, something like that, very simple, so that when the recipients receive it, they're going to know exactly what they're getting from you. And then we'll click our next button. We'll be able to see who's going to receive the test. We'll click our next button again. We will see that we now get to preview it one more time. We're going to see that 3 recipients are going to receive it. It's going to be sent right away on the delivery time. You can preview it one more time and click Send Test. Now, you would have 2 choices at this point. You can go ahead and edit the message again, or you can send it out to all of your contacts. And you would also be given the opportunity, if you wanted to send it out, would be to either send it right away, or you can schedule a date in the future, anytime you want, to send that out to your recipients in your contact list. We're going to go ahead and edit this again, just to be safe. And again, we come back to our newsletter. We're still not in edit mode. We can't click on anything because, yes, we have to click this Load Newsletter Builder one more time. And once we do that, we will be back to our Newsletter Template Builder tool, and we will be back to being able to hover any section we choose and make those edits and save, always editing each section and then saving as draft or sending out as test. That's going to be what's going to secure your document. I hope this will get you started and comfortable in working in your newsletter template. It's great to get these out on a Tuesday morning. It's a perfect time for recipients to read those newsletters, and I hope that you generate bookings from this. It's a great tool to do that, and look forward to another moment when we can share more opportunities within this YMLP text editing tool to improve your newsletters. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again soon.